Hi everyone, welcome to BrickVault, this is Mike. Welcome to the top 10 MOCs video where we basically show off some amazing MOCs from the passing week that we really liked. I usually choose 10 MOCs for those episodes, sometimes there is more, but I mention them at the end of the episode so you guys can check out all the people I saw this week in the links below. We have moved the Fan MOCs to a different video. This week was a bit of a delay with that one, but it's gonna be published soon, so stay tuned. And before we jump into all those amazing creations, I want you guys to check out our web store at www.brickvault.toys. The model that was in the web store for a while now but now received a video is the Cylon Raider from David Duperron. We have a full-on Battlestar Galactica collection in our web store from him, including the Cylon Raider, the Colonial Viper and also the Raptor, plus he also designed the Blade Runner's spinner. Those are absolutely epic builds. If you guys wanna choose to support us, we really appreciate it. That supports us, our channel here at BrickVault, and also designers that we work with to deliver the amazing MOCs. The first MOC for this week is a micro-scale build from no one else but David Zambiro. He is continuing to excel in some of these amazing micro-scale creations, and I really want to show all three for this week because he posted them pretty much consecutively. The first one is Calm Seas, showing some sort of a pirate ship in a deserted island. What really strikes here is the part usage, as this is kind of a signature thing of David. You can see the minific headgear of the pharaoh in the front of the ship, which is an excellent part use with that golden element, and also he used the jaw of a dragon in old grey for the sails. How crazy is that? I mean, this is the perfect part usage to depict such a small ship at this scale. Then we have a Star Wars micro build called the Outer Rims element. First of all, that Y-wing with the whisk pieces for the engines is an excellent choice. And if you look closely, the water is built in a way that you can see layers of deep. Actually, the darkest blue is showcasing the shadows that the ships cast during the chase. Then we have different shades of tan portraying the landscape up to that small town, which is using the stat shooters in grey to portray some of the buildings, which is another excellent choice. And the third one from him is called the Security Drone. It is more of a sci-fi build, a single-wheeled drone inspired, as he tells, by the DuckTales. And even though it is a simple build, it is something menacing about it. The design is also very sleek, which is a feature visible in pretty much all of the David's MOCs. And as a reminder, all the links for the creations and the creators I talk about in every episode are in the description below. Next, we have another micro build coming from Twilight Yellow, and this one is a depiction of the Hong Kong, especially Lion Rock. Now, I've never been to Hong Kong, but I did see a fair share of vlogs or YouTube travel videos about this wonderful city, and looking at that dense micro build-up of the skyline of this busy city, I say he did an excellent job depicting the downtown area of the town. Love the different designs of the buildings and also the towering Lion Rock in the background, and Hong Kong is one of these places I have on my bucket list to visit at some point in time. Next, we have Gary, and this is a designer that most exclusively designs in digital, but I don't really mind because his designs are second to none. The newest one that he added is the NTB helicopter, a pair of helicopters, sort of gunships or attack helicopters that fly in formation, and they definitely remind me of the Hueys from the Vietnam era. But this is not the craziest stuff he has been designing. I highly recommend you guys to check out his Flickr page. He is really into Warhammer and very unique, even bizarre designs. A different helicopter that he made is also the MON, or just MON helicopter, which is some sort of a lighter version of the Apache, but the cockpit area along with the engines and the pylon weapons area is second to none again. Scrolling down, you can see some of his Warhammer stuff, and if I haven't mentioned that in the previous episodes, which I think I did, these might be one of the best Warhammer 40k Lego designs you can find on the internet right now. The only problem is, again, that I'm not sure if many of these designs are actually buildable given the bricks available in the colors he's choosing, but still the part usage that he's accommodating is absolutely outstanding. Speaking of punchy big mechs that have a lot of firepower, there is gonna be a few of them in this episode, excuse me, but the next one here is coming from Perrin, kind of a favorite designer of mine in terms of anything robotic or just cool. This one is Armor DBG-136, and he says directly that it is inspired by one of the TOW Warhammer battlesuits. The start for this build was the usage of the sand purple color bricks, and I think they work quite well in the combination with the white here, plus some of the shaping, especially for those feet with the flag elements, is just very well done. I also like the fact how he used the underside of the bricks to show off the stand, which in dark tan works pretty well with this particular design. As you know, the new Creator 10265 Mustang is a thing of beauty, and many people got inspired by this model to create their own ones. So I've seen a fair share of Mustangs this week showing up on Flickr. The first one here is coming from Thomas Gion, And that is the version from John Wick. John Wick, Keanu Reeves, is driving the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. What we have here is a sort of a Speed Champions version of the car, but for sure he got the chassis right and the shapes for that iconic muscle car. But if you think that this one is too small, check out this version by a designer by the name Dornby. He made a 1965 Ford Mustang GT, which is pretty much one of the first versions of the GT Mustang. And I gotta say I have a hard time deciding which one is better, his version or the official Lego set of 1967 GT. Dornby's version comes in red, which is the most sought after color of Mustang from that year as far as I know. He also got the roof right. I think there is some sort of a convertible version because in one of the photos he's showing actual convertible version of the car. And I like the fact that the design is much simpler than the official set. He got everything right with just bricks, at least what I can see from the photos. Being a Mustang fan, I do approve all of these mocks, and I'm happy that the excellent creator set inspired so many people to create their own ones. With the next battle mech in the lineup, we have Faber Mandragore, and also another Warhammer 40k inspired build. This is the TOW battlesuit inspired by the XV9 Huzur battlesuit, one of the most useful platforms from the TOW Empire. And first of all, I like how small and nimble this is, plus the amount of details here is quite insane. The thing comes with dual linked cannons on the shoulders, and the build for the head is excellent, depicting that iconic single-eye Cyclops version of a TOW head. This guy comes with extra scout drones to help him out in the battlefield, and I gotta say it was quite clever to use the inverted slope bricks to create that loose stand of sorts. Now let's move to something less sci-fi. This one is coming from Mountain Hobbit and the title is The Walls of Stoneharrow. This designer is known for being part of the design for the Hobbiton, one of the most awesome Hobbit based mocks I've seen last year, and he's really into anything medieval or Lord of the Rings, as you can see on his Flickr page. Now the newest addition, The Walls of Stoneharrow, is also a take on a medieval build. I'm not sure if that's even connected to anything Lord of the Rings, but still, if you look at the wall from the front, you can see how many different techniques he used to achieve a bit of a angle on some of the buildings as they are getting older and older and the stonework and masonry just fades away. I love the use of different color combinations for the rooftops, and that throws a lot of really cool fresh stuff into that somewhat of a gray area of the mock. There is some foliage on this side as well. Those elements also break up the gray wall a bit as well, and there's just something about that looks quite realistic and could be part of a bigger castle if he decides to expand the project. But when we move a few centuries forward, we have a building from aukbricks, and this is just the stone house. That's the title. Now, I am not an architect or quite knowledgeable about anything related to architecture or the styles of building over the years, but still the looks of this one are quite striking for me, and if I saw such house on a street, it might be one of the better looking ones. Excellent build for the front facade with the staircase leading to the doorway, plus great work on the windows and the doorway itself. Beautiful ornaments along with that foliage portraying a miniature garden in the front. Plus you gotta appreciate those massive trees on the side of the house. They do look very realistic. In the back you have some sort of a tulip garden and a small greenhouse. And even though the build feels simple in colors choice, this is really a striking detailed creation. Plus the work for the rooftop with not fully pushed in tiles creates an awesome texture. And also just look at that chimney to the left and one on the right. Absolutely excellent design and must have taken ages to construct. The next one is quite unique of a mock, if I can say that. Jarekwally, or Jarekwally, maybe he's Polish. The design from the brick art is something I was looking at for quite a few minutes before I was settled down that it's actually Lego. What we have here is some sort of a floating box that's leaking fluids in different colors and splashing them down on a black surface. Very bizarre, even a bit otherworldly, but that's how art goes usually. And quite frankly, the most praise that this mock should deserve for is for that splash at the bottom and the leaking effects on the box itself. A sculpture in motion, as I would call it, but the execution is absolutely superb. And speaking of mock execution or photography, I have found this Instagram account from Architeclego or Brick Explorer on Twitter, and I have never seen this creator before, but his photography skills, given the fact that he's exclusively portraying Lego, is something beyond any level I've seen so far. Seems like he's using practical effects for most of the water shots on his Lego creations, which creates this sort of an atmosphere for every single picture he takes, plus some excellent use of lighting, creating any parts of day or any mood he wants. That is true skill and talent, especially this picture is striking me the most. And even though these effects are practical, plus I think there's some rain added in Photoshop of some sorts, the overall outcome here is as if I was there standing in the middle of the rain in a traditional Japanese home. His Instagram account is not big, there's only a handful of pictures, but every single one of them is worth taking a look at. So check it out, of course, I'm leaving all the links below. And for the most insane MOC for this week, I have chosen this. This is a Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evo from 1992, built by Bricksonwheels. Now, I am not super proficient or knowledgeable about the rallycross cars from back in the days, but Lancia is known for being one of the most successful cars to win a lot of competitions. Now, about this MOC, first of all, the depiction of the car is simply excellent. I remember those iconic front light Lancia cars just zipping through muddy terrains, and this is a car everybody should just immediately recognize. What really strikes about this MOC though is the use of stickers and the way he applied them in such a perfect fashion. Now, if you're not a big fan of, let's say, Speed Champions sets that come with dozens and dozens of stickers, this should probably give you a slight headache on this MOC, but still, if you look closely, he cut them so perfectly, aligning them with every single edge of a brick on every single corner of this car, that I think that the sticker job alone may have taken as much as designing the MOC itself. Bricksonwheels is mentioning that the MOC was built over the course of 4 months. I am just not sure what big part of it the stickers took. There's a bunch of chrome pieces as well, but that is kind of a signature thing from Bricksonwheels. And I have been mentioning this designer quite a few times already, as my opinion is that might be one of the best car designers in the LEGO terms that you can find nowadays on Flickr. Links are below for high resolution pictures, highly recommended, guys. And also make sure to give all the creations that I mentioned this week a solid follow if you enjoy what they do. Alright guys, and that's gonna be it for this week's MOCs episode. As always, I had more creations in the lineup that I really wanted to talk about, as they are right now flashing on the screen. Another reminder is that everything extra is also linked below, so make sure to check out everybody that I'm talking about in this episode. That's it, thank you guys so much for watching, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell button if you want to get notified for the new videos that we make. It was Mike, and I'll see you next time on BrickVault.